Greetings to each and every one of you joining us for this pre-recorded show on Gallop TV, and this is for the meeting on Saturday the 24th of May. We are recording early doors on Friday morning. Take note of all the scratchings, declarations, as our selections could change, they could be scratched, and we're really looking forward to this meeting with the Daily News 2000. We've also got a couple of other feature races, but without any further ado, let me introduce Dees Diamond. He's going to be my partner in crime today. Morning, Dees. I say my partner in crime because we're going to try and steal the limelight and the money.
Yeah, we're going to try. We're going to try, Sheldon. Good day to all the racing fans out there that are listening into this preview, and it's a busy day. 11:35 will be the start of race number 1. There are 10 races on the go, so lots of exotics to play for. And race number 1 doesn't form part of the exotics over 1,200 meters. Let's get straight into it, and we'll begin with a rerun.
On the outside, Delaware River. Royal Kalani the leader. Dark Matter is now trying to put on pressure past the 200-meter marker. And Dark Matter and Royal Kalani, they've gone clear of the opposition. Dark Matter, Royal Kalani, nothing between the two of them. They're going stirring duel, eyeball to eyeball. Royal Kalani came back to win it. Second, Dark Matter, Delaware River and Sol Namara.
Yeah, Warren, she's a lovely filly. With a wonderful pedigree, and everybody was after at the sales last year, and she's maturing and she's strengthening up, and we've given her plenty of time, and I think she's ready for her first run. I'll start off over 1,200 meters with a pedigree like that. She's looking for 1,600 meters, and I won't be surprised if she even goes further. But she's showing me enough speed that she's ready for her first run, and if she jumps and he can get himself in a comfortable position, I think she'll be right there at the finish. She's doing well, and I think she'll continue to improve.
On Song had a pleasing debut. She is pulling quite hard at the track, so I just hope that she settles over the 1,200 and feel that she can run into the money.
Blue Regent, a nice filly. Her sister won her second start in Joburg a week ago. She's come on nicely from her first run, but I think she'll need one more just to get to her best.
Okay, race number 1, and we're just going to use the betting as a guide as we bring up the field. Number 2, Miss Sakura, Dean Kanemaya's 3.6 million rand purchase, 16 to 10 into 12 to 10. Number 4, Dark Matter, we saw that rerun, just failed, 15 to 10. And it's double figures the balance. There's nothing else that we can speak about here. Oh yeah, 6 to 1, number 6, Winter Blessing. And this first time Miss Sakura, Dean Kanemaya's run, we know how well bred she is. Cherry on the cake, the dam, half sister to Summer Pudding, how good she was. So she's bred in the purple. And Dean Kanemaya has given his thoughts on her that, whilst he thinks that she's looking for further, she has to start somewhere, 1,200 meters. And word on the ground is that she can run, Sheldon?
I've heard quite a lot of word on the ground that she's very, very decent. As you heard from Dean, they've taken their time with her. And the talk on the street is the rest of the field are racing for second. We know first-timers, things can go wrong, but the money's there from 18 to 10 down, 12 to 10 early on. They paid 3.6 million, so they obviously really like this Vercingetorix. 1,200 first time. Had it been a 1,400, I would have been a lot more confident, but just listening to Dean's got the speed, and I think this is going to be a horse worth going through the divisions. Number 4, Dark Matter, obviously has the experience. They put the lights out last time out, but reading between the lines and listening to Dean Kanemaya, I think they're expecting this horse to win. It could be something way above average, so I'm going to say number 2, Miss Sakura. Watch the preliminaries. The canter pass will be vital, and watch the market support. 2 from 4 for me.
Yeah, 4, Dark Matter, obviously with that experience and last time out just failing. Nice draw as well with Tristan Godden up. He's got to know this filly last time out. And then number 6, a Winter Blessing, from that form line of her last start. Second in that race was Alana that has come out to win. So that form line's looking good. I'm sure many will include that in trifectas and quartets. But in summarizing, race number 1, it all depends on how forward Miss Sakura is going to be because of the first timer. She's an absolute standout on pedigree. The market support anti-post is clear to see. Number 4, Dark Matter, the horse that stands out of the race runners. Well, the exotics will begin in race number 2, start of the Bipod Juvenile Plate over 1,200 meters. And before we get to the field, we got an interview for you, Alison Wright.
Eastern Highlands is having his first run. I expect him to be a bit green, and he is a horse that's looking for a bit further. So hopefully we'll be running on.
Okay, we'll bring up the field for race number 2. You need to get on the tote for that Bipod at 12:10, 10 past 12, 1,200 meters. Number 1, Golden Operator, Sean Terry and Craig Zaki, 3-1. Number 8, Vanicum, that's for Manu Pandaram, and Richard Fourie gets the ride. From 9 to 10, that has shortened into 8 to 10. I see Dennis Schwartz is engaged to ride number 12. And that is it. It's double figures the balance. We're obviously going in blind here, Sheldon, with all these first timers, and we'll just have to have a look at the market support, and maybe the guys that are working on course can possibly relay some information from the respective stables with these first timers, because it's tough when you play the exotics and you're actually going to have to use the betting as the guide, or maybe just wait until the very last to fill in leg number 1. But at this stage of the game, number 1, Golden Operator at 3-1. And then Vanicum, Manu Pandaram's runner, was beaten by a very useful sort called Green Diamond in that grade 3 Protea Stakes last time out. I know well beaten, but something had to run second, and she was the filly that finished best of the rest. 8 to 10 against this type of field, you're going to have to be the judge, but I'm sure will be an obvious inclusion for the Bipod.
100% right, Dees. And when you look at these type of fields, scratches number 9, Hawksdale, which would have been a danger. But the fact that they backed her first time out from 14-1 around about 7-1 suggested there was some ability and some talk about. Disappointed first time out. Second time out, grade 3, 50-1 down 20-1. Small money, but showing that there's ability. Coming back to a maiden over 1,200 meters, Richard Fourie jumps aboard. I'm not a guy who backs odds on favourites, we know that. I look for the value, but when you look at it face value, if there's nothing special in the unraced department, she should take an absolute power of beating. So I'm very strong on number 8, Vanicam. I think this is the horse they all have to beat, and if bringing that grade 3 run to Green Diamond, I believe that this filly beats the boys and the rest of the field. Number 1, Golden Operator. Interesting comments. The ability's there, if not too green, a nice run. And then the rest of the first timers, you're going to have to watch them canter down. But if number 8, Vanicam, is as good as the work she's showing back home and she brings it to the course, I believe Richard Fourie comes home on the bridle.
Okay, race number 2, number 8, Vanicam, Namaste Namaskaram. And that's a greeting in all the different languages. But number 8, Vanicam at 8 to 10 with Richard Fourie up. It does stand out of the race runners. The unknowns will wait race time.
Time to move on to race number 3, which will be the opening leg of the all-important place accumulator. And this is the Backchat maiden plate over 1,400 meters. And without any further ado, let's go take a look at the rerun.
Boertus. Cowdray Park is starting to run on strongly. Together with the Golden Goal, they spread right across the track with about 300 meters left to go. Firelight is looking to ignite towards the inside and coming home very strongly. The Golden Goal on the outside's finding a big finish. Here's Firelighter towards the inside. Firelight has been set alight by Nicholas Patel and is going on strongly here. Firelighter is going to beat Run Forest Run, followed by the Golden Goal, then possibly Longstreet in 4th.
So, just having a look at the anti-post betting for race number 3. We'll give you a guideline and then we're going to give you a breakdown of the selections here as we get the device open here. Moving along to race number 3, and the favourite, as would be expected, number 6, Xenophon. Xenophon is the favourite at 7 to 10. Number 2, Run Forest Run is 9 to 2, and then you can take 7 to 1 and better the rest of the field. Doesn't appear to be any scratchings at this early timer recording. So for the favourite backers out there, they'll be looking for their double. They'll probably be going Vanakim in race number 2 at around about 7 and 8 to 10, and then taking 7 to 10 on Xenophon. Another Vercingetorix, and this is a horse who is exceptionally well bred, out of an Oasis Dream mare, Dream de Ra, 3rd on debut, and that was a decent effort. That was 1160, and the average rating was a 75 in a maiden field. So that tells you the story. The strength of the field looks quite good. Looking at that introduction, the 1400 should be right up the alley. Run Forest Run, that was the replay I picked out. Obviously we can't get the Gauteng replays, but a good second to Firelighter. However, I believe the Sean Terry outfit, they're going to have a plan and a mission with this horse number 6, Xenophon, for some of the feature races. And I think this is another one, Richard Fourie just going to be a pilot aboard an express train.
I just feel that the distance is key here, because having watched this horse raced on debut, it looked like it was definitely on the short side, that 1160, and he was fancied, quite fancied in the betting as well, at around 4 to 1. So that run would have brought him on a ton. The draw is not a concern for me. Drawn midfield at 6. I think it's an ideal position for a horse that gets jump out. Just have him sitting where he's comfortable, and I'm expecting him to have one of the faster finishes in the race. Number 2, Run Forest Run. Yeah, good improvement from one run to the next, and that last start behind Firelighter, Long Street has come out to win. And then from the Paul Lafferty stable, with Fortune up, that first start will grab your attention, but a 2-year-old over 1400 meters against these older horses, he can't give the start he gave last time out, because he was way out of his ground, but he was gaining on those front runners. I think he's a horse that will progress quite quickly. Whether he's up to the task to win this, the race will tell, but trifectas and quartets are must. The winner will come from numbers 2 and 6, the Gauteng form line versus the local horse number 2, Run Forest Run. But for the place accumulator, I'd like to include both horses, 2 and 6.
There we go, 2 and 6 for D's as far as the place accumulator goes. And for the favourite number 6, Xenophon, and the backers are Richard Fourie. They'll be screaming, "Go Richard," all the way to the winning post.
Well, it will be a sizable, respectable pick 6 pool on the day. Race number 4 is the big one at 1320, and it's a class 3 over 1800 meters. We got an interview package for you before we bring up the field.
World of Our Owns, it is a competitive field. He has got the draw, and I feel that he can also run into the money. Noble City has lost his way a bit. He is working well, and he's well in himself, and just hoping for a better run. He's got the 4 kg claiming apprentice, and just looking for some improvement.
KG's Delight, I'm very happy with his progress since he had a knee chip removed. He's run well, he's run on the poly. He doesn't really enjoy the poly, I don't think, plus it was his second run. I think this run he should show his true colours. Queuing, if the kid can handle him properly, he rode him last time and he finished very nicely to run 3rd. He likes Greyville. The distance is not a problem. He probably liked the track with a bit of a sting out the ground. I'm expecting him to run well.
Well, some positive comments coming through from Guard Puller there. One has to take note of that with his runners, number 5, which is KG's Delight, and number 8, Q-Wing. So don't leave those out of any of your bets. Let's have a look at some betting. Number 1, Gentleman Joe at 7 to 1. 2, World of Our Own at 6 to 1. Number 3, Averni King is at 5 to 1. And then we go to number 6, Destiny of Fire, the filly. She's trading at 7 to 1. Horse number 7, Tobacconist at 6 to 1. And 10, Tua Cut is at 6 to 1. Number 11, Sundance Kid at 8 to 1. 13, View of the World at 7 to 1. And 8 to 1, number 14, Johnny the Thief. When you just judge the market and know that they are betting 5 to 1 the field, that tells you how competitive the race is, Sheldon. This looks like a very tough start to the pick 6. If you're going to get through with the minimum spend, I think you're an absolute winner here, because many will be playing as wide as possible.
Yes, Dees, when you look at race number 4, and this will obviously be the opening leg of the pick 6, the guys will be negotiating and seeing what percentages they're going to be taking and playing into a decent pool over 1,800 meters. Now, when I studied race number 4, I think it's an absolute nightmare. I've gone through each and every runner, and my way to play is to look for the value in the race. Last time out, I made number 8 Q-Wing at around about 40-1, a nice each way bet. I said have a good place bet. It was around about 6-1 a place bet, and the apprentice ran on nicely for third, so we got some place money out of it. However, I'm going with a 40-1 shot here. Number 4 Noble City. If it was a 1600, there's only one chink in the armor for me. Is the distance of 1,800 meters. Did run 1,800 behind a horse called Oriental Charm, who won the Hollywoodbets Durbanville. Ran 7 lengths behind Dave the King, who we saw came out and obliterate the opposition the other day. Last 2 runs would have needed after a lengthy layoff. And this was a horse who ran in the KZN Breeders' Mile, ran second to MK's Pride. The average rating was a 101. The next run, the average rating a 109, a 109. And the last run behind Underworld, the average rating was a 106. 4 kgs off the back. Here's a horse you can't have any confidence in. But at the price of 40-1, I'm going to take a stance and say throw it into your quartets, your swingers, and have a little bit of an each way wager, because I can guarantee you this horse will start a lot shorter, around about 12-14-1, because I'm going to have a nice little each way bet on number 4 Noble City, and I think top 4 places is the way to go.
Big price, number 4 Noble City, and what a result that will be for the pick 6. So Sheldon has picked out a 40-1 shot. I'm going to be sticking with 8 Q-Wing, because also liked it last time out, and that run behind Mr. Nibbles was a good effort. I know that this looks to be much stronger than that race, but the claim 4 with Mqalisi Mputo is a big plus. 48 kgs, you heard it from God Puller. Both these horses are well. He's expecting good runs from both of them. So that's at around 14-1, and another nice roughie to include in everything. But we can spend a lot of time talking about runners here because they're betting 5-1 the field. My top choice in the race is going to be number 3 Averni King, who put in a very good run last time out by a horse that's very highly rated from the Justin Snate stable called Regulation. And I thought with that weight and with the apprentice, he ran an absolute blinder considering he was drawn 11 out of 12. Now gets Richard Faree from draw 3. So he is currently the market leader. A weak one at around 5-1. But if he can just build on that performance last time out, I think he'll go very close to winning it. And there are cases that can be made for the entire field here, Sheldon. So my suggestion is leg 1 of the pick 6. Try and minimize your spend to half the field. Once it starts going over half the field, then it becomes a field race for me. But 2 nice roughies that we've picked out in number 4 Noble City and number 8 Q-Wing.
That's the way we're looking at it. If we had to write a book about this race, it would be 300 pages plus if you had to go through everything on a lighter note. But number 3, Averni King, definitely nice for Owen Heffer and Brian Makwabarara. They'll have a lovely run from Averni King. But for me, number 4, Noble City, I went for 8 Q-Wing last time out. Dees likes it as well. So those are 2 roughies to include. And now we just got to pray that the horses run as fast as they can. Right, it's time to move on to the crunch as we move on to the listed Lonsdale Stirrup Cup, and we start creeping closer and closer to the Daily News 2000. Right, 2,400 meters is the Lonsdale Stirrup Cup, and let's go to our interview.
He's doing very well at home. Last time out we got caught at the back of the field in a slow run race. He over-raced very badly, but very much like most of my horses here in the Natal season, I was fine when I arrived, but when the rain hit, unfortunately, all the fitness went out the window. So he was about 12 kilos overweight, I would say, in his last outing. He'll strip a little bit fitter. So I'm pretty much running the horses. I'm backing them up. Normally I wouldn't go 2 weeks apart, but the only way to get them fit is to get them on the racetracks. And so big weight, A lot of weight to carry over this distance, but I just feel I don't have any options but to get the horses fit, and he'll run his race.
So there we go, Future Swing, and he'll definitely be in my top 3 selections despite carrying that 63.5 kilograms. He's a horse who's run in the Hollywoodbets Durban July, he's run in the feature races, and he's a horse who's got the ability. I know they say weight stops trains, and especially over a distance of 2,400 meters, there might be a horse like something down at the bottom end of the weights that might be able to spring up. But for me, another nightmare of a race here. Let's kick off with a couple of runners. Blackberry Malt, I'll go through, super consistent, runner-up in the last 2 efforts, ran second to Holding Thumbs in the penultimate run, who's found a lot of support, so you've got to give a little bit of respect. Number 2, Shoot the Rapids. I think it's going to come on leaps and bounds with the recent runs under the belt. Did beat Cape Eagle in the penultimate run. So I do give these both place chances, and maybe Shoot the Rapids a win chance. What do you make of number 3, Field Marshal, and number 4, Future Swing?
Yeah, Field Marshal, I got a question over the distance. He's been best up to 2,000 meters, but he's got a nice low weight of 52.5 kgs. If the stamina kicks in, I think he could run well. Quartet chance, I prefer the stable companion. Future Swing, yeah, although he is carrying a big weight, he is the class package in the race. We know around this time last year, they were speaking about him, the winner of the WSB 1900 actually went in fancied for the Hollywoodbets Durban July, which was Richard Foury's choice of ride. We must not forget that. But he hasn't recaptured that form that we saw him around this time last year. Maybe this race could be the race that will get his confidence back. Number 5, 20 Drakmas, and 6, Duke of Africa. Will they be shock winners for you?
Yes, 5 and 6, I'm leaving out of my play. Number 7, Holding Thumbs now. Going back a year ago, if you told me this horse would be a 107 running in feature races, I would have told you off your head. He's done exceptionally well for the connections. He's really built up well. And the way they backed him last time out, they thought that he'd just about win. The money's come for him again. He's a horse that I've never had a bet on, and I'll just be watching number 7, Holding Thumbs. So for me, I'll include him in the exotics, but obviously the stable rates him. And then number 8, Marauding Horde, comes with some really good Gauteng form lines to the credit, stays exceptionally well, and a horse that could get into the shake-up. But race number 5 for me, number 4, Future Swing, no doubt the class package, but that 63.5 kilograms is a little bit of a worry.
Yeah, I just want to build on number 7, Holding Thumbs. It's been well documented that he had all those issues post-race last time out. I chatted to Glenn Cotson, and the other day I even asked him in the interview at Hollywoodbets Scottsville when we worked together on this horse. So, they want to qualify him for the Hollywoodbets Durban July, and he'll have to win this. He'll have to win this, and I think it could be plan B if he doesn't win this, to possibly now try and aim him at the Gold Cup towards the end of July. But he's rated, Sean Veal rates him, so don't knock him for his last start. He ran to a point, and then it was all pear-shaped after that behind Salukwe. And the money is down, when the money is down, like it was last time out, like they knew the results, well, 5-1 into 7-2. And Marauding Horde, he's run in the Caradoc Gold Cup, he's run in the Colorado King Stakes, the good feature races up in Gauteng, and although carrying 61 kgs, I think will run exceptionally well here. So if you're going to narrow it down for the jackpot, and of course the pick 6, 2 Shoot the Rapids gets my vote, 4 Future Swing, 7 Holding Thumbs, and 8 Marauding Horde. I think the winner will come from 4. If I'm pushed for a top choice here, what's it going to be? Shoot the Rapids.
So there we go, Shoot the Rapids. That is Deeza's first selection, and I think Shoot the Rapids is going to run an absolute cracker. And let's see who's got what it takes to get into the winner's enclosure.
Okay, it's race number 6. It's the Tote Willhavington 2000, a Group 2 over 2,000 meters. And before we touch on the race and have a look at some betting, let's go to our interview package.
I think when you guys preview the race, go have a look at her run. Unfortunately, she drew bush, and we had to take our poison and drop out to the back of the field. She ran on very strongly. A very little eye-opener type run, but certainly this Will Lavington now is obviously opened up to older horses, and one would say that the 3-year-old fillies haven't quite shot lights out, but take nothing away from them against their own sex here. They could run give the older horses a go, but it suggests that they are the better ones, the older horses, and I think this could be the surprise horse of the race over the ground. The 2,000 meters is what she's looking for. She's beautifully bred, and if I had to pick a horse on the card of mine that will run above what everyone seems to think, it's this filly.
Yeah, Give Me Everything, a filly that's just improving with every run. And I thought to run in the Guineas was a super run, badly drawn, and that day you had no chance of coming from off them, or should I say coming from behind, because the false was right out, and when they swung for him, that was down the inside middle, they were gone. But it was difficult from that draw, but it was a super run in the Guineas, and she was always a little bit sluggish in the early stages of the race, but I think the 2,000 metre trip, she'll love the 2,000 metre trip. First time I tried over 1,800 metres, she duly won well. And I know it is a very competitive race. There's a few horses that want to run right next to her, one or two have run next to her in the Guineas. Also he gets himself in a comfortable position. I think she should be a very competitive runner in a very competitive Grade 2.
Yeah, some good input there from both Justin Snate and Dean Canamayer. Number 1, Rainbow Lorikeet, 6-1. 2, Hats Queen at 8-1. Then number 4, Little Susie, you heard from Justin Snate, 16-1 into 8-1. Number 6, Beating Wings at 8-1. 7, Mocha Blend at 6-1. 8, Regeneration actually opened up. I want to touch on it at 6-1. That's blown right out. 14-1. Yeah, double the odds. In fact, more than double the odds. 9, Give Me Everything, Sheldon, 7-2 into 22-10. Masharina could still be valued at around 10-1. And I think it's 10-1, number 13, Gerbera as well. Sheldon can just check that on Gerbera. What's the price of that horse? Because she
25-1.
25-1. I said 12-1, 25-1 is a big price about Sean Terry's runner. But I think the right horse has attracted the betting support. Number 9, Give Me Everything. For the place accumulator, I'm going to suggest that this is a banker. For the pick 6, I'll leave that to the racing fans, because last time out, she really grabbed your attention the way she was finishing off behind Mon Petit Cherie. I've always liked this horse. I liked her last time out where she ran a good race, barring the barrier position, 14 out of 14. It all depends on how far back she is, because the 2,000 meter trip is going to suit her. But Justin Snate brings up a very good point. Because if you have a look at number 4, Little Susie, and just the 400 meter to finish, they both were drawn alongside each other, the widest gates of all. Little Susie finished that race in 22.2 seconds, and Give Me Everything in 22.5 seconds. It's only 0.3 of a second, but the fact is, when you look at them position-wise, 4th for Give Me Everything and 9th for Little Susie, that doesn't tell the true story, because if you watch that replay, as he suggests you do, you'll see that Little Susie was gaining quickly, and she gets a kg pull in the weights with number 9, Give Me Everything. So he makes a very valid point there that 16-1 looked a big price about number 4, Little Susie. But I'll give you my numbers here for the pick 6. Number 1, Rainbow Roller Kid. I really respect her feature race form from the Western Cape, gets my vote. Number 4, Little Susie, I'll have to include now. 6, Beating Wings. She hasn't been 100% health-wise at her recent runs. Richard Fourie sticks with her. And if she brings her A game, she's a massive runner. Mocha Blend comes from that form line behind Masharina. She ran a good race. She's got 53 kgs. And I must compliment Frank Robinson, because I had a long chat with him after her run last time out, where I didn't give her the credit that was needed, because she was coming off a poly win, but she really proved me wrong that day, that she's up to the task. Give Me Everything, 10 Masharina, and 13 could be the beautiful result that you're looking for at 25-1 Gerbera from the Sean Terry stable. But a tough race, but I think the right horse is attracting the right money, number 9.
Well, Dees, when you look at it and you point it out, number 9, Give Me Everything, that last run in the 22.5, 400 to finish, and you got 22.2, number 4, Little Susie. My sneaker in the race was number 4, Little Susie, so I had a little touch at 16-1, so I'm glad Justin Snaith has reiterated on that one. So obviously the cat's out the bag now. I think that's going to run a huge race. Number 5, My Soulmate at 14-1. It's a horse that needs to be included, has taken on some stronger opposition in the past. And number 1, Rainbow Lorikeet had a gallop here the other day, so it's going to be super fit coming into this race. I think we've touched on the numbers. Number 1, Rainbow Lorikeet at 6-1, big runner. Little Susie 16-1, wrong price down 8-1, and you heard from Justin Snaith, this could be the horse to pinpoint on the day. Number 5, My Soulmate. And number 9, Give Me Everything. I was in Cape Town when she ran on the 22nd. I was presenting on that day, and I made her an absolute racing certainty at 9-2. And I said, once she goes the 2,000 meters and above, you'll see the best of her. So I'm in your camp. Number 9, Give Me Everything. And number 4, Little Susie. Then number 5, My Soulmate. And number 1, Rainbow Lorikeet. It's not as easy as that. It's going to be a very tactical run race. And especially when they go over trips of this distance of around 2,000 meters, there's going to be a little bit of jostling, argy-bargy. And let's see who has what it has to come out on top and win the Tote Lavington 2000. Grade 2. Moving on to the big event of the afternoon. Have ringside seats at Hollywoodbets Greyville for the Daily News 2000 Grade 1 race number 7. Starter should say go at 15:12 over 2,000 meters. And let's go to our package of race number 7.
Still Cosmic Speed at the 300, Sail the Seas, and 8 on 18's trying to put it together. Cosmic Speed still leads it. Sail the Seas is trying hard on the inside, 8 on 18, but it's come down now to Cosmic Speed and Sail the Seas over the last 100. Sail the Seas takes it up, 8 on 18's trying. Sail the Seas won it. Maybe 8 on 18 second, and then Cosmic Speed and On My Honor.
Yeah, look, he's doing very well at home. He came into the race a little bit heavier than I normally would like in the Guineas. There's just nothing we could do. He strips fitter. He's a different horse come this race on Saturday compared to last time. Unfortunately, we had buckets of rain this week, and we couldn't quite work today, so we had to back off, which I don't think, I mean, if he's not fit today, Thursday for Saturday, I haven't done my job. So to do a hack canter today was okay, but we're quite bullish of a big run. I brought a horse up, Makazoli from the Cape. I looked at the race and I thought, oh, here we go again. You remember last season here in Natal, we cantered in most of the races, and I brought Makazoli up purely to ensure that there's an honest pace. I'm not looking for a fast pace at any time. I'm just looking what a pace that a Group 1 should be run at. I do know the horse from Joburg likes to get on a bit, and but if he's going to go to the front and pull up the handbrake, then Makazoli will go and ensure that we just run at a true pace. And that's what Makazoli has been brought up. I brought him up on Sunday from Cape Town to ensure that. Native Ruler, if you go on his Derby run, the winner was 8 and 18. The second horse was Sail the Sea. The third horse is Garrix. I don't need to tell anyone about Garrix. Garrix has won 2 in a row. And it goes on Sunday for the third leg of the winter series, which I'm hoping to upset with my horse Mucho De Niro. So on that form, you have to respect him. The race has opened up for an opportunity for a 3-year-old to maybe get into the Hollywoodbets Durban July, and that's what Native Ruler's here for. Anything that runs close, as we've seen in all the races, like Sail the Sea in the Guineas, he got given 127 for beating 8 and 18. So the usual thing happens, all the horses get punished that run in this race. So we're hoping that it works in our favor, and that's why Native Ruler's in this race. In a very good space, really doing well. A horse that is a very up-and-coming 3-year-old, and he's peaking at the right time, and very much like Native Ruler, he's in here purely, if he runs in the first 3, he could have a dip at the big race. So as I said, most of the trainers running away has maybe opened up an opportunity for a 3-year-old here, and I'm not one to stand back and let an opportunity like that go and you never know, something goes wrong in the race, and one of these pop up. I'd be very happy either way.
So there we have it, sweet and short, and we got all the lowdowns and breakdowns of the horses. And when it comes to the daily news, 2000 Grade 1. These, over the years, we've seen many top horses win these type of races and go on to win the Hollywoodbets Durbanville. And a horse like number 7, 8 on 18, he's deep in the red. He's 4 to 10 for a reason. He's got the form. He won the Grade 1 Met. They put a pacemaker in for one of those races to ensure a decent run race. And I'm glad that Justin Snaith been so transparent. They brought Makazole here for a reason. Paces win races. You want to see the best horse in the race win. And this horse, Makazole, he's probably going to go to the front, set some decent fractions. 8 on 18. I know a lot of the punters are disappointed he got beat last time out. I was actually hoping he got beat last time. Not hoping he got beat. I was hoping there's going to be a run to bring him along. He ran an absolute blinder in second. This is his race to seal the deal. They've got some big plans for him. He's a horse who's won Grade 1. He beat Oriental Charm. He beat Sail the Seas. And last time Sail the Seas beat him. He's a 1-2-7, having his 10th run. He fits the bill. He's a 10 out of 10 for me. I think he's close to a racing certainty. If he gets beat, I'll be absolutely gutted.
Yeah, you know, the pace is going to be crucial here because it's 7 runners. And you got a horse like Confederate, it's a natural front runner. You know, the way he won the Classic last time out, I think it was absolutely brilliant because that was in the mud. He did it the hard way. He skipped. I thought he was going to come back to the field, but credit to Fabian Habib for having him that fit. And of course, the horse and Craig Zaki, because it was a superb performance from him. This course is no doubt going to suit him, and Justin is fully aware of that, and therefore bringing in number 5, Makazole, as the trump card, the ace up his sleeve. But he's declared his hand now in that interview, and we know what's happening with the snake runners. But Confederate, a horse that's rated, and the way he won last time out, you know, Turpentine to go in the mud 1,800 meters all the way around, that long run, and it takes a special horse to do what he did. Whether that Gauteng form line is going to be good enough to compare against the Western Cape horses, that is why we have KZN Champion Season. We level out the playing fields here in KZN, and this is where Equus Stars are born. So number 3, Confederate, I got a lot of respect for him. I'll just give you one stat. From his form line of his last start, Legend of Arthur has come out to win. You got that horse Fire Attack who came out to win the Premiers. So that form line is looking deadly for number 3, Confederate. And Legend of Arthur didn't just come out to win, he came out to win the Derby. So it's a very strong form line from Gauteng for number 3, Confederate. But if you want to pick out the most interesting runner in the race, it has to be the filly number 4, Spumante Dolce, because you know, Mike and Matthew de Kock, they've sidestepped the Will Abington for this race. And she gets a 6 allowance, and they've gone for the Group 1 ahead of the Group 2. You know, if she runs into the top 3, and if she has to win this, that will just, you know, blow her pedigree into another level because she's so well bred. They're looking for some, you know, paddock status here with number 4, Spumante Dolce. And her last start behind Mon Petit Cherie was an excellent effort in the South African Fillies Guineas. You know, she found one better. So the 2 most interesting runners when you look past the star in the race, which is 8 on 18, are numbers 3 and 4. So if you're not convinced, if you think, you know what, 4 to 10, I'm playing for the result, I'm going against the grain with 8 on 18 for the pick 6. The only other 2 runners I can suggest are numbers 3 and 4.
Well, there you go, numbers 3 and 4 to throw in. And just to clarify, number 7, 8 on 18. I did say that I hope he got beaten last time out, and I wanted him to get beat. And the reason being is because I was on Sail the Seas. I was big on Sail the Seas.
The talk was there. I mean, you could see your fate if you went, you know, I went 8 on 18 for one of the shows. But when I listened to Justin Snaith's interview that day, and you're giving your selections well in advance, he was clear that run was going to bring 8 on 18 on, and he mentioned it like suggesting that Sail the Seas was the right horse in the race, and the race time money was there. Sail the Seas won. It was a good effort from Cosmic Speed. 8 on 18 was running on smartly, and that run too short for him, looks like these days. This is his main mission amongst his own age group, the Group 1 Daily News 2000. We know that he's the ruling favorite for the Hollywoodbets Durban July, but if I had to pick out one race that they want to win with him, it's this race.
100% right. So just to clarify that, we were big on Sail the Seas last time out, and being a punter, the horse you back, you want to beat the rest of the field, and I believe that he was beatable on that day, and Sail the Seas we were all in, and on this occasion, if number 7, 8 on 18 gets beaten, well, that's the rub of the green.
Race number 8 is a Class 3 fillies and mares over 1,200 meters, and it will begin at 15:52. So let's bring up the field and have a look at some betting. Number 1 is Bosom Buddy at 33-10. Horse number 4, Wings Within Me at 5-1. 5 Night Vigil at 7-1. Then we got horse number 10, So Hot, So What at 17-10. And it's double figures the balance. Well, I've made my play for the day when it comes to the exotics in this race. It's in or out. I had a look at Bosom Buddy from that pole position with Gavin Arena up. If there's one horse that I will be possibly considering as cover for my top choice, it will be number 1. But the runner that I like here is Lucinda Woodruff's runner. So Hot, So What. She just failed last time out. I thought a brilliant effort over 1,400 meters behind Bevy's Delight. She ran her heart out. She didn't throw in the towel all the way to the line. She is a filly that's rated by the stable. Her form is clear to see. But more importantly, I think that she's under the radar with a rating of 87, carrying 54.5 kgs. Both her wins over 1,200 meters. When I watched her last time out, I'm not going to say it was the distance that found her out. She just lacked over the final 50 meters or so, and Richard Fourie was sharp to the task at hand on the winner, Bevy's Delight. So, although drawn 10 out of the 11 runners, that's not a concern for me. Richard Fourie up 54.5 kgs, back over 1,200 meters. I'm going to use that as a banker on the card.
So you got your banker from D's, number 10, So Hot, So What. That's the one they have to beat. And all I'm going to add is, if you're looking to throw a horse into the exactors and the swingers, I know a horse that D's and I have liked on a number of occasions, number 3, Perilla. A little bit sharp, the 1,200 meter trip, only had 1 run over the distance, but I can see this horse running on for the minor positions. But like Dee said, if there's one for the day that he's going to look to go with, number 10, So Hot, So What, and hopefully comes home hot. Moving along to the penultimate race of the day, which is race number 9. And well, if you're in the pound seat going into race number 9, you can sit back, relax, and you can have some nice bets for free. On the other hand, if you've come under a bit of fire, let's see if the interview package can maybe get you out of trouble.
Quishy is having his first run after gelding. He went to Life After Racing for a short break, and he is quite highly rated, and feel that he is going to need this run.
Kumamori doing well. These horses we battle to find races for often. Doing very nicely. We've been a little bit obviously rain delayed here yesterday and today, but yeah, he's doing well. Hoping that he can get into the frame.
Putalicious is coming back after a stint in Cape Town. Also didn't have the greatest campaign there, and his work has been good, but do feel that he will need this run. Viva Spirit is having our first run for us. He is a horse that has had issues with bleeding. He hasn't shown signs of that with us, but you're obviously wary of how hard you work them, and he is a big horse and feel that he will need this run.
Drew a bit wide. He's a horse that likes to have a bit of racing. It's been quite difficult finding a race for him. He had to have his African horse sickness injections here, which was another annoying thing that has to be done. So he couldn't race between the 2 injections. So he's been sitting here for 6 weeks waiting for a race. I do think in this sort of division, he's a horse that you just keep an eye on. But from a wide draw, it's very much a race I want to see what happens. If he takes to Durban, he's way under his rating, but we'll unfortunately have to have that run to see where we are with him. And I definitely look at the scale. I'm glad to see they're not using the scale here at Summerveld because it's 20 kilos out. I've proven that. I've weighed horses between the two between Summerveld and Greyville, and there's certainly a 20 kilo difference in the weight. Well, I'm hoping. Otherwise I'm in trouble. So look at the scale when they weigh him at Greyville, and that'll tell you where he is.
Yeah, Real War, I was very happy with the way he won last time up the straight at Scottsville. But he seems his best runs have seemed to be up the straight at Scottsville. He's run one or two fair races at Greyville, but I think his horse that's improved. Never easy to win 3 in a row, but you can never leave him out the exotics.
Peregrine Falcon, another horse that'll be his third run for me. He's a very lightly raced horse. He had an injury with Snaith Racing in Cape Town. Well bred. I think he's doing very well. He might need 1400 meters, but if he by chance gets in, I think he'll run a big race.
Well, we're having a good little chuckle off air here, Dees and myself. I love the way Justin Snaith comes across and he gets straight down to the point. We're going to try some scales.
If it's 20 kgs in my favor, I want to use that scale for my BMI because I need it. That will really put a smile on my dial. But whatever it is, hopefully, it's collaborated, and of course, things get back to normal with regards to horse weights for Justin Snaith. Okay, race number 9. Let's have a look at the field. Number 3, Turbo Power at 4-1. Number 5, Dapper at 8-1. And then we go along to number 8, Honor of Kings at 4-1. 9, Real War at 4-1. And it's double figures, the balance. So this is it. This is where the pick 6 will close. And it could get to a very reasonable dividend if we got 8 on 18 winning, So Hot, So What winning. Those look to be the form runners that people are going to be playing around with for the pick 6. But if you get a result along the way, you could be in the pound seats here come race number 9. Tough race to try and negotiate. For my short list, I'm going to give you 5 runners. In numerical order, 3, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 3 being Turbo Power. From a nice draw, I think will run well for Sean Terry. Horse number 6, Viva Spirit, has to get my vote considering the company he was keeping prior to this layoff and first run for the stable. Just have a look at the average ratings. And I was really glad that Alison Wright mentioned no signs of bleeding back home. That is a big positive for me for number 6, Viva Spirit. Horse number 8, Honor of Kings, Justin Snaith's comments are positive there. Number 9, Real War from the Dean Kannemeyer stable, goes for 3 in the bounce. And if you're looking for one more, then I think Putalicious back home after that stint in Cape Town could run well. It's a nice quartet to catch here, race number 9. If I'm pushed for a roving banker, I was leaning towards number 6, Viva Spirit, but listening into Alison Wright, I'm going to change now to number 3, Turbo Power, as my roving banker in the race.
Well, 100% right. A horse like number 3, Turbo Power, he's been around, he's done it, he's a seasoned campaigner, he's a 3-time winner. First run at Hollywoodbets Greyville on the turf. He has been here before and run on the poly behind common grounds. But Dees, it's a difficult race to dissect after listening to Justin. When I looked at this race first up, I said number 8, Honor of Kings at 5-1. This is my bet for the day. I'm going all in, all guns blazing, Honor of Kings, because in 84, it's not often that I agree with the handicappers and I go with horses that are rated like this. I usually say they're above the rating and they're overrated. This is a horse who I believe could be 100 in time to come and win a minor feature. The reason Justin's saying he might just need a run, he's a horse that comes on leaps and bounds. I'm going to put it all behind me. And I'm going to say 1,200 meters. If this horse gets beat, I will be very disappointed. At the same time, bearing in mind that he's going to just need the run. So if he does get beat, there is excuses. But looking at the field and his rating, I believe he's far too good for this field.
Could be better than this field, the 3-year-old number 8, Honor of Kings, and if that is spot on,
and dropping back to 1200.
That's what I was going to touch on. You know, they've been racing him over 1400 meters. His penultimate run was good at Hollywoodbets Kenilworth. His last start, he just seemed to be one-paced. But if you go back to his 1200 meter form with the blinkers that he won with first up, beating my Archangel, then that type of form over 1200 meters could be good enough for this field. But he's taking on some older horses, some hard knockers, and he's taking on a field where, you know, it is a nice quartet and trifecta to catch. So Sheldon likes number 8, Honor on Thieves. I like number 3, Turbo Power. The kicker for the race, the unknown for me, first up for Alison Wright, is number 6, Viva Spirit. And again, you know, with regards to bleeding, that he was suspended last time out, no signs of bleeding back home. That's a big positive for me. But let's see what happens. Race number 9, and it is the start of the last double with 10 races carded. On to the lucky last, race number 10. Hopefully things go to plan and we complete the race meeting at 1700 hours, 1200 meters of class 4 for fillies and mares. Before we touch on that last race, what do we have? We have a rerun and interview.
And on the outside of that, Avernian Goddess, and then Amma Ford. Coming down to the 300, Happy Analia, Buttercup Baby, Tara Star still right there on the stand side, Avernian Goddess, Miss Lady Adrix, Prom Queen on the inside is also running on. Tara Star and Happy Analia over the last 100, down on the inside, Buttercup Baby. It's getting close as they come to the line. I think Tara Star got there from Happy Analia, but it's mighty close.
Yeah, good run last time after a long break. She missed the break and it ran on at the finish. I think as she's maturing, she'll probably be more comfortable over 1400 meters, and not a great draw. So she needs a lot of luck from that draw. But if she gets luck up the straight, she'll be flying at them at the finish.
The field is like so. Number 2, Virgin River, is at 5-2. Number 3, Buttercup Baby, is now trading at 7-1. Number 4, Tara Star at 8-1. 7, Golden Moment at 4-1. And we have number 11, Get Off My Cloud at 8-1. And yeah, it's double figures, the balance. There are horses here that have some form to recommend that are poorly drawn, like numbers 13 and 14. 8, There She Goes, will tickle your fancy on the distance record with JC Boertes claiming the 4 kg. So will number 9, Pour Some Sugar on Me. And horse number 2, Virgin River, does bring some good form lines from Gauteng, but at this stage of the game, she looks like she enjoys 1,000 meters. Sheldon, do you have a top choice in the race? What is your selection? Because I like a horse a lot here, but I'm going to see if we're on the same page. We may not, but which is your top choice?
Well, I've got 3 horses that I've gone with.
Yes.
Number 4, Taurus Star.
Yes.
Number 5, Acacia's Blossom.
Yes.
And 8, There She Goes. And then I'm throwing in number 3, Buttercup Baby. I'm throwing in Buttercup Baby because if you look 3 runs back, ran 1.3 lengths behind Taurus Star.
Yes.
And that must bring her right into the shake-up. Let me touch on Taurus Star. Last time I made her my value bet on the day and she drifted off the boards. The more I preached about her, the guys didn't want to know about it. Yeah. So when she went 10 and 12 to 1, I said, thank you very much. That's the day with the apprentice aboard. So I got the money last time out. So I'm willing to give her another chance. Acacia's Blossom's been taking on a little bit stronger, but 63.5 on the back. There She Goes at 12 to 1, worth a little bit of an each way bet. And then Buttercup Baby. There's just something about her, but you're going to touch on it a bit more. I've included her, I've thrown her in everything, and although I've got the top 3 horses there, there's something about Buttercup Baby that I keep coming back to, and that's where you're going to fill in that piece of the puzzle.
When you need it most, at the back of the race meeting, race number 10, or when you're up and you want to get bigger into the green when it comes to the profit. Number 3, Buttercup Baby. Go and watch that replay first day of her last start. She was drawn 10 out of 12. It was 1,400 meters. Given a super confident ride by Calvin Habib, and she only tired at the business end of the race. 2.5 lengths behind the winner, I'll take that. Her penultimate run, drawn 15 out of 15 at Hollywoodbets Scottsville. She was never in the race at any stage of the game. She cracks a draw 3. It's now 1,200 meters, which I think is her best distance, although she's yet to win over the distance. She's won over 1,400, but Go 3 starts back behind that run to Tara Star. On that run from a good draw, Richard Fourie up, I think she'll have the run of the race. Whilst it's competitive, there was some 10-1 available. She's now trading at 7-1. I made her the value on the race card, number 3, Buttercup Baby. With regards to riding arrangement, you may ask the question, was Calvin Habib given the chance or the choice to ride her again, or did he just choose number 2, Virgin River? Well, if he's making the choice, we have to respect number 2, Virgin River. But personally, I think if there's one track that she could get away with a 1,200 meter trip, it is Hollywoodbets Greyville, because she seems better over 1,000. I know that she's run well over 1160 up in Gauteng. She's quick. She'll be in the front. The way I see this race is that Virgin River in front, Buttercup Baby just sitting off them, and hopefully she can find a finish now that she's drawn well. I like number 3 a lot. Strong each way play in the last.
Well, there you go, number 3, Buttercup Baby. Dees and I are both on the same page, a huge runner. And like I mentioned, 3 runs back, was just beaten behind Taurus Star. And there's no rules in racing, so what I'm going to suggest and what I have done, I took some 10-1 earlier about Buttercup Baby. I took some 10-1 about Taurus Star. Acacia's Blossom, a little bit of 20-1, and some 12-1. There she goes. These, I've backed 4 horses in the race,
Sure.
and I'm still going to make a decent profit.
What you need to do now on the day is possibly play some exactors, swingers, and maybe even a box trifecta.
That's the way to do it. When the anti-post betting comes out, I'm an anti-post betting player, so sometimes I back 4 or 5 horses in a race, but it depends how you outlay your spend, and I've backed each of the horses to make a decent profit. So any of those 4 horses win, and I'm in the pound seat. People will say, how can you back 4 horses in a race? Very easy. Put the money down.
Yeah. If you think that it works out with regards to the way you are working out the sums, then it could be worthwhile. But race number 10 looks a competitive race with trifectas and quartets to catch. Sheldon's got a suggested bet for the show, but on behalf of the entire team, that's Gallop TV, Sheldon Peters, and myself, Dees Dynan, to you, the valued racing fan, have a blast, find all the winners, and hopefully it turns out to be one of those days you'll remember for a long, long time to come. From myself, Dees Dynan, until we meet again, you take care. Salani Gashne.
Right, we move on to that time of the show where we give our suggested bet. And when it comes down to the suggested bet, it's not as straightforward as it looks. Value, race 10, number 4, Taurus Star at 10-1. I've made this my value bet, and purely because I'm being loyal. I made her my value bet last time out, and she was 10-1. I thought she was very difficult to beat. We got the money last time out, and we celebrated big time. So I'm a very loyal person, and Taurus Star, I believe, has got another winning chance, and I love backing the apprentices. I think they're worth that, the weight off the back. So number 4, Taurus Star at 10-1. This is a horse that you can play around with. In the same race, number 3, Buttercup Baby, who ran 3rd to Taurus Star, also opened up at around 10-1. So you can cover with some swingers, exactors. Number 5, Acacia's Blossom at 20-1. And number 8, There She Goes at 12-1. So while I've made Taurus Star my suggested value bet, it's a horse to play around with. And those other 3 runners, you can take the swingers, the exactors, and throw them into all of your bets. But Taurus Star's the horse that I'm going to use as my stepping stone. And one of the other 3 win, you'll also be in the pound seat. So lovely being on the show. It's been a wonderful show being done with these. And hopefully you as the punter have a wonderful day's racing. It's time for the Daily News 2000.